So especially nowadays, like, you may have actually just not flipped me, but like definitely that's something I kind of took for granted. It was like, oh yeah, like people coming over here are going to be able to find work, but that's not true most times.
Yeah.
All right, I'm recording.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. So what I do out here is I talk to people about values, about beliefs, all that sort of stuff. Usually it's one-on-one, but I'll never turn down a group. That's awesome. So, is there something that you guys are passionate about, disagree on, perhaps? What are your thoughts?
On what's something important people should do?
Sure.
Or just generally anything?
It could be anything. It could be based on the prompt here.
Okay.
Anything that comes to mind. Like it could be like the Israel-Palestine thing. It could be a religious thing. It could be a different political belief. It could be something as mundane as you think that exercising is really important and you think it's not as important.
I don't know. I don't know either of you. I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you guys were all friends.
No, these two are friends.
Yeah.
I'll step out. You do these two.
No, you come in. You come in. You can be a part of this.
I have no idea. I don't know.
We just met.
Yeah, just a second ago.
Cool. Hey, I'm bringing people together.
Yeah, exactly.
How about how about I do a surprise one?
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Awesome.
So let's have this be the middle point right here.
Awesome.
This will be neutral. This
Okay.
will be over here that you agree.
Okay.
And this over here will be that you disagree.
Awesome.
Okay. So the prompt will be, and I'll tell you guys when to go to your spots.
Okay.
Will be that we should allow unlimited immigration from other countries into the United States. And think about that for a minute. We got agree, disagree, neutral. And you can go in 3, 2, 1. Go to your spots.
You said like unlimited?
Unlimited. We will allow as many people in here to the country as possible. Of course, we can like say, hey, this person should be in prison.
Yeah.
They've done some horrible things. We won't let that person. But we're not going to say only 100,000 people or only 50,000 people or only 10,000.
Right. I say I agree.
Think so?
Yeah.
I mean, sounds like there's definitely like regulations there, but like it's like still like not bound for people to like, come in.
I don't think we should have like a number being like only 5,000 people can come into U.S. this year. Because like my parents are immigrants.
Right.
Like-
My parents are refugees.
Yeah. So I'm like, if there was like a hard limit, which I'm sure that there is, like I probably wouldn't even be here getting an education. Like I relied on my parents and my grandparents immigrating here for me to like be born a U.S. citizen and stuff. So like for me personally, I think the more the merrier. Like I don't understand this idea of like xenophobia where it's like, oh, like we don't need non-Americans because like there's no real such thing as an American. Like an American is like a concept in my opinion. Like the only real Americans were the Native Americans and they got like killed in mass by like, you know, war, famine, and then sickness brought in by like European colonizers. So like I personally am like, you know, no one's really here who's like originally here. So there's not really an American idea in my mind. Yeah.
Did you agree with everything you said? Do you have a similar perspective?
I think I have a similar perspective because I mean my situation is kind of different from his. Like you say grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like because like my parents were brought over from the Secret War in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
So that's like that. That's the like different situation with like
Right.
The U.S. government and such. But I kind of do agree. Like we shouldn't like bar people from wanting to like come to America. Because everyone has different reasons, and my specific reasons, like he said, like I probably wouldn't be here. Yeah, I would probably not be at the U at all. Probably in like I'll probably like be on a farm.
Same. Yeah.
Right. And so it's kind of like, yeah, that's just my perspective on it when it comes to like my like context.
What are your thoughts?
I think I'm a little bit more neutral, but I definitely think like I'm gonna like it's a hard spot for me too because I actually was not born here. Yeah, I was adopted and kind of you know if there were restrictions, I saw like if there were restrictions on that, I wouldn't be here. And I know I just saw like China China just ended their adoption program. So, while that's China, not the U.S. If there was something similar here, then I obviously wouldn't be here. But also, pre-med, I hope to go to medical school someday. And like free healthcare is something I've become like really interested in and really passionate about. But as I've learned about it and learned about here at the U.S., and I think like free healthcare is a right. I think everyone should have access to healthcare. Free healthcare in the U.S. would be, as I've learned, it seems like it would be a disaster.
Okay.
Because because we already have so many doctor shortages. People already can't get access to healthcare, and if suddenly everyone just is covered by insurance, it's just going to exacerbate the discrepancies that we have now. People will have to wait even longer to get into to be able to see a doctor.
And if I'm understanding you correctly, that relates to immigration because more people would be coming to the country, and it would make it more of a strain on the system.
Well, yeah, I don't know like the exact principles of how that relates to immigration. I just figure that there already are so many problems in our country. That I'm sure that just a sudden influx of unlimited people would just exacerbate similar things like that.
So if we can talk about something actually, free healthcare and then also doctor shortages. I'm also pre-med. I agree with you on the fact that like free healthcare right now in America is like not a possibility because like there just aren't enough people to do it. But I think that's more of an issue with like Congress needs to budget more money for more residents. And make it less competitive, prohibitive to enter like med school than it is like a number of people who need medical care problem. It's just we need more doctors, not less people. Does that make sense? That's how I see it.
Oh yeah. But that's I guess like, and I agree. I think I think it's right. It's like my mom works for Stanford Health. She sees like a lot of the finances of just how doctors get paid and stuff, and she's a finance director for them, and yeah, she constantly tells me how, if you become a doctor, like you could get hired anywhere. Yeah. We desperately need doctors. And I was like, well, tell medical schools to let more people in then. Because it's so hard. And yeah, I totally agree. Like, I think the problem is probably that we need more doctors. But that's also just not the reality that we're in too. So it's hard. It's such a difficult spot.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm hearing here is I think you guys might be on the side. You're on your position of agree because I think the underlying value might be fairness. Does that sound about right?
It's not necessarily about what's fair. It's about like, it's like I guess yeah, it is. It would be unfair for me to sit here as like an immigrant and be like, or like the son of immigrants and be like, no. No more immigrants. Okay. That would be crazy for me to say that.
It wouldn't be fair for you to be able to come to this country or your parents. Yeah. And for you to tell someone else, no, you can't come here. We've hit our limit.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. Like, I think immigration is like a very important part of like why America is so diverse and why America is so like cool. Because like, if you look at like a European country, like, I think it's like the more like I don't know if it's correct, but like Sweden and like Norway, like those countries, they have like little to no. Like they're like very much like ethnically the same.
Okay.
Like they're very like ethnically homogenous.
Yeah.
Where like I think that's kind of lame. Like I want to go somewhere and I want to be like, there's like someone from Kenya, here's someone from India, here's someone from Brazil, here's someone from China, here's someone from Vietnam, here's someone from like all these other places. Like that's awesome to me. Like I get to look around like campus here and I'm like, oh, like there's like a million different ethnicities here. That's super fun. It's like, yeah, it's unfair, like fairness for sure, but also I just think it's more cool. Like it's just more fun.
Okay.
Yeah, like very unscientific.
What do you think? Is it about fairness for you while you're on the agree?
I'm not. Well, kind of.
Okay.
Because like I said, like I'm coming with my context of like my parents being refugees and coming from like being I guess Hmong people in like the Southeast Asian side, especially in Vietnam. Some of us being exodized because we supported like the CIA operations back then. But it's kind of mine's kind of different when it comes with that. Like people are in need, they need like they're seeking asylum. They can't like.
I think I understand.
Yeah,
it's about like the protecting people's well-being.
That's I guess so. When it comes to that, I do also agree with like the reason people are coming here are like for like opportunities, right? They're not coming here just to be here. coming here to like for the opportunity that they see, like America. Yeah, to like to make better of themselves.
Yeah.
For the resources they have here. Of course, it's not always the reality. It's not always the reality everywhere. I think the majority of people come here and then they either find themselves disappointed or they find themselves like actually like succeeding. And that's just like real life. But yeah, it's also kind of like I think we did talk about like I think of like a conversation I had back in high school in my global politics class, in which we had like we're talking about like migration, and the double-sidedness of that. That being like sometimes the people who are coming are people from I guess less developed countries, and so with the cause of immigration, there's like a less what's the word I'm thinking of? Human capital for them to like help themselves to be like developed again. Of course, it's like I think of like Mexico when it comes to this, because a lot of people are coming in because it gets really bad over there with like, the cartels and such.
Right.
Running like the rural areas and then and all that stuff. But,
yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a lot about making sure people are okay, right? Like the cartels are doing some awful things. They should be able to come to our country to what's the right word? Like to have this opportunity. You said,
yeah.
Okay.
My big point is like asylum.
Got it. Okay. You heard both of these fellows. One was talking about fairness, and the other one was talking about like protection, well-being, the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Are those things important to you? And I guess how does that relate to your neutral position?
Yeah, so fairness and asylum.
Gotta go soon.
Yeah, I gotta go soon. Yeah, I gotta go. Okay. I gotta go by 1. What time? Will you guys still be out here for a while?
We'll be out here for a little bit.
Okay. Would you have to go now?
No, I can stay for like another like 5 minutes, and then I can take off. I got to leave right now.
Yeah.
I'll try to get this question. I want to ask one more question to you guys.
First, I mean, and I definitely, I guess I'm not saying that. That I definitely like I should be the one making decisions.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I think I know what's best. I just think we have to be like pretty smart about
Like have a balancing act, like kind of balance between the protecting other people, fairness, and what's best for people already in our country. Is that kind of what you're saying? Put words in your mouth.
No, I think it's just important to be like understanding those implications of our actions.
Okay.
Like if we just did let a bunch of people in, like I mean, I'm sure a lot of them would suffer and die. Okay. I'm sure a lot of them would not have good lives, not have quality, would not have much better lives than they do wherever they're coming from. And I think when you mentioned that, I don't know if I kind of zoned out, but I think you said like people could be coming here and aren't even like happy or are misled.
Yeah, some people are like definitely like they come here thinking of an ideal, and then they fail to reach it, and then like it's better to be back at whatever they came from.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are like that.
And that's a reality that I think maybe some people who are idealists think that we can just support them, and that's not true, and we can't even support ourselves in a lot of ways. But on the other hand, we do have there's a ton of people who just have too much money and too much wealth, and
Actually, that's something I didn't even think about. Is like, some people might come here and like look at how we treat our homeless population who's already here.
Exactly.
It's like if you come here and you don't have like an education that might allow you to get like a good job. Yeah, I didn't even think of it like that, because like the way my family emigrated was my parents emigrated here when they were like my mom was 15, my dad was like 18, and my grandparents like immigrated their families here. And like I realize this now, like probably back then when they immigrated like into New York, it was probably so much easier to like get a job and to like actually like make rent than it is now with the inflated prices and shitty job market.
college degree doesn't even guarantee you a job anymore.
No.
Yeah, it's like it's not even safe.
So especially nowadays, like you may have actually just not flipped me, but like definitely that's something I kind of took for granted. It was like, oh yeah, like people coming over here are going to be able to find work, but that's not true most times.
Yeah, like I remember, like, and especially in South Minneapolis and in like the migrant quarter in Chicago, where I went, there's like a lot of like people just standing around waiting for like to be for like resources and assistance. And it's like, and most of them are like migrants, right? So like it's kind of like, do we even have like the like resources to be able to provide for people who are coming in? And so like, although like I'm on this point where like we should like not like have a limit, but I also think we should be like Dylan said, like be smart about it.
Yeah.
And like we have to like be able to accommodate to like the people we have right now and people who want to come.
I think I agree with you guys both.
Do you think you guys might be a little less strong in your stance after having this conversation?
I think my stance is still strong, but I think it's a little bit less strong, I'd say. Like, I still think, like, you know, we should let as many people in, but that's the caveat, is as many people in as possible and as many people in as, like, we can provide for, I think is the new, kind of the new way I'm thinking about it right now.
Gotcha.
Because, like, instead of being so cavalier and brash about it, like, he brought up, like, an amazing point. Like, yeah, like, some people might come here and they might, actually, you both brought it up that I didn't even think about. They might have, like, worse off lives. Like, that completely, like, slipped my brain, because I guess I'm still, like, in that whole, like, American dream, American exceptionalism thing, that, like, you know, you think, like, for me, like, for my family, it worked out well. But there's, like, for every one of my families, there's probably, like, 10 other families who came here. Yeah, more than that, even, who came here and it didn't work out well with them. So it's, like, definitely a check my privilege for a second here and be like, wait, hold on, like, I'm thinking of it in, like, this very privileged way when it really isn't like that. So, yeah, no, that's really cool. Like, I that's a different perspective from mine.
It's a good conversation.
Yeah,
I think it's very fair.
Yeah.
I do have to run though.
Yeah. Is it one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I also have to take off.
You guys want a card real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You can have fruit snack, water.
Yeah, real quick. Thank you so much, bro.
There's a card for you. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Feel free to stop by again. Thank you.
Yeah.